Good morning. This is Mother Maya. How you doing? Hope you're all doing well today. Um, Today I'm going to talk about goal setting. Working a little bit on yourself every day is a good idea, but I think at the start, making our mind up about what we want to work on is the hardest part. Realizing the parts of our lives that we need to work on the most sometimes are very difficult, especially when you're in a very dark place. So I find my first step is always to draw my map. And this always kind of gets me in the state of mind of, where am I supposed to go next? So this is your map, basically. So it's basically the things that are important that you need to focus on in your life. And you put the percentage beside it of what you think you're at. So basically, the things that are important that you need to list out are love life, work life, spiritual life, joy, friends, family, and health. Now, there's other things you can add to those that are important to you. But I think it's important to add those core kind of 6 or 7 things that are standard that because sometimes people forget things, okay? So I did this in a mindfulness course a few years ago. And the biggest shock when people were answering these questions was, God, I didn't even think about working on my work life or working on this part of my life, because we so avidly focus on one part of our life sometimes in our life. Like, especially, for some people, they just want to focus on their love life 100%. And the problem with focusing on one thing 100% is that what happens when that is no longer working, or if something happens. Like, say, for instance, I lost my job there a few weeks ago, and I made the mistake of focusing a little bit too much on that. So it was a bigger crush when I left, basically, instead of having everything more balanced, which was a great lesson for me to kind of remember. So I really want to push that. This is a great way to make you remember the areas in life that you're not focusing on. Okay. So I think one of the best things I can do is I'm going to go through them individually and suggest something small that you can do on a daily basis to help go towards them. Towards healing each part of your life or making it better. And it doesn't have to be everything fixes at once. You don't have to do every single one every day. I think the biggest part of everybody's problem when they're starting out their goal setting for when their mindfulness to start taking control of their own path and their own life and getting things better is that they try to do too much in once. And then they go, oh my God, I burnt myself out within a few days. And you go, it doesn't work. Mindfulness doesn't work. Well, the biggest problem with mindfulness is that if you've let it go for so long and you have a huge mountain to climb, you're not going to climb that mountain in a day. And no matter how frustrated you are, you're not going to drive yourself on the anger or the frustration that you have in the moment. You have to clear that. You have to let yourself calm down before you tackle this. So, and yes, it's easier said than done. Tackle your sadness, your anger, your frustration, your pain before tackling this. But you've got to be in a mind state where you're ready to accept this. If you're not ready to accept this, you're going to take one look at this list and go, no. And you're just not ready yet. Let yourself get over things, start meditating, start asking yourself, why am I not ready to start making my life better? What is blocking me? What is stopping me? So first of all, love life will be the first step. So I always think that love life, is something that is both-sided. It's an equality thing. So love life can be very, very vague. What can I do today to increase happiness in my love life? To increase balance, to increase so much. What do I do? Okay, so first of all, love life. One thing I really recommend is the heart chakra meditation that I've uploaded a few years ago. Actually, got a great response. So many thousands of views on it now. And thank you to everybody who had a look at it and commented below and stuff like that. Boosting your love energy in general really brings happiness to you, more good karma to you. Start just being kinder to other people. Love life is not just the person that you love, your physical partner, your husband, your wife, whatever. Your love life is your heart and what you're doing with it on a daily basis. So to look at one thing, like I was saying, if you take on everything else, it's too much in one go. One thing, love life. Oh, it sounds like such a small thing. Oh, my relationship. Maybe I should give him a call. Maybe I should send her a text to say I love her. It's more than that. It's more than that. You want to go deep into the idea of what your love life is right now. Where are you emotionally right now in your love life? What are you receiving from other people? Are you happy with that? Do you want it to change? And what do you think you could do to change that? That is a goal setting. Okay, and that's for one thing. Okay, and that can take up an entire month of work. Okay, and don't be worried about that work. If you really want that work done, you'll have no problem with it. If you don't want to do that work, then you don't want to do that work. Work on something that you do want to work on, but you can't sit there and piss and moan about something that you don't want to work on. Okay, and that's, I know it's hard to hear, but it's true. If you don't want to work on it, don't work on it. I don't want to work on my work life right now. I am bold when it comes to working on my work life because I am mad at it. So I have to deal with some stuff, and when I'm ready, I will get back to it. So right now I am focusing on joy. So one of the great ones, joy, is something we forget in working life. Okay, so working life, we get up, we eat, we do our exercise, we go to work, we come home, we do our reading because we're trying to keep our mind active, we're eating well because we're trying to keep our body healthy. We're working. We're trying to make everything work perfectly, and then we don't stop. I've even seen people who are mindful people, who are meditation teachers, who go, I never take a minute just to do something stupid. Okay? So a few months ago, I decided I'm working myself too hard. I'm doing my spiritual work in the evenings. I was doing my full-time job during the day. I was doing a part-time job. I was, my own business, trying to become a counsellor for the Green Party. I was trying too many things. So I did something stupid, as you would think it's stupid. And I bought myself a PlayStation. And I love all the old games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, stuff like that. And people said to me, like, what's that contributing to your life? You're not very a materialistic person. Why did you get a PlayStation? And I said, because I wanted a PlayStation for ages. And I just said to myself, why can't I let myself just be happy and have a PlayStation? I had was so wrapped up in the idealism that like, oh my god, if I have a PlayStation, I've sold out. I'm not a hippie anymore. if I have a PlayStation, then I've bought into the idealism that I have to buy something to make me happy. And you know what? After a while, I just went, you know what? I'm just gonna get it, and I actually really enjoy playing it. And sometimes I sit down and I play it, and I go, oh my god, it's been 2 or 3 days since I've let myself just do something for the joy of it, not because I've overanalyzed it or told myself that I'm allowed to. I always love the saying in Eat, Love, Pray, dolce far niente. It's a saying in Italy which means the pleasure of doing nothing. Okay, we forget to get to that place of joy. And no matter what I say about, the whole job situation at the moment, having a bit of time to myself has been really great. And oh my god, I've gone and sat in the park, I've gone out with friends, I've really reconnected what makes me joyful and made me remember that, my god, working life is not 100% of my life. It is 100% of my life if I want it to be. And when I remember the other things, oh my god, I was out sitting in the park, in the Phoenix Park, with my friend Theda the other day, and we found this place, and I swear to god, it was like fairies had made it. It was the most beautiful place, and I just felt like I forgot about all this stuff, this joy, this happiness. And it's just the little things. It's the little things that people say, you're wasting your time, why aren't you doing something more constructive, why aren't you doing this? So joy is really, really important part of your life, so you need to make sure you're doing that. And it doesn't matter what other people say about your beliefs, okay? So I remember people used to always say to me, you can't be a spiritual person and enjoy makeup, because makeup is covering up what you are, and you're creating something else. It's a falsity, blah, blah, blah. So I said to them, I like the way I feel when I put on my makeup, and despite the fact that it's a socially interpreted thing that has been bred into me through society, through magazines, through TVs, I still get really happy when I buy new lipstick. So I was like, what do I do? I'm so torn. How do I become a spiritual master, but also enjoy wearing lipstick. And then I saw Saima, and she was like, she was done up, and she like, you know, had her hair done pretty, she had flowers in her hair, she had lipstick on. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the lipstick and I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. And again, Dolce Fernanda, I need to stop fucking thinking about it. I need to just do it. What am I gonna do about my joy? I'm not gonna worry so much. I'm just gonna do it sometimes. I'm not gonna think about whether, you know, at first, like, the reason why I'm on my phone at the moment is because my computer is a little bit finicky, so I'm paying off a new computer. When I get this new computer, the camera is going to be so much better, and I'm going to be able to do so much more videos and spend more time you know, teaching people things online, which is great. But at the start I was like, why am I getting myself a new computer? Why am I being so materialistic? What is it that a computer, you know, I was like, having a computer is just so much easier to use than the phone. When I'm uploading videos to YouTube, it makes me happier. But realistically, it brings me to the next stage of my path, is going back and teaching online. And it's a part of my spiritual teaching that I've never done before. So again, you might think that joy is not something that's important in your life, but it might actually lead you to somewhere that is part of your path. So again, doing nothing sometimes leads you to a sense of enlightenment, maybe a sense of peace, where you start thinking about your problems in a more calm manner, and then all of a sudden your cognitive thought process is balanced after meditation, maybe just in calm moments like after you have a bath. These joyful moments make you actually see things from a calmer perspective and go, actually, you know what, if I did it this way, it would be much easier. And you come to easier conclusions when you're happier as well as when you're calmer. And we focus so much on being calm with meditation and mindfulness that we forget, so much so, that happiness is really the most important thing. You know, happiness within ourselves. And if you decide to not get that lipstick, or get that new computer, or do the thing that you want to do, or just spend an hour playing, you know, Rainbow Six because you just want to, and yes, maybe shooting with people isn't the most mindful thing, but damn, I feel good after playing PlayStation, because I just do. I like playing it. I'm not going to excuse myself for doing the things that make me joyful. Do you know what I mean? And I'm tired of having to be this person to be joyful, when being joyful is really me just being happy. So I already know the answer to that. So why am I doing it the way people have constructed it for me? They've said to me, this is what makes you happy. I'm like, no, I know what makes me happy. At the end of the day, Harry Potter makes me happy, so I'm wearing my Gryffindor t-shirt today. And you know, the next thing is friends, okay? So how do you put more effort into friendships? Okay, so sometimes I like to write down some of my friends, their names, and I think, how can I contribute to this relationship better so I can have a better friendship with this person, okay? Sometimes I like to map out about, you know, I know it sounds a bit constructed, but I think that you need to work on each relationship you have in your life, and people don't put enough focus on what you can do to, you know, it makes things easier sometimes when you write things down. And I could say to, you know, myself, okay, I know this person's going through a rough time at the moment. Maybe I need to up the amount of communication I have with them. I text them every second day or every day, whatever, check in on them, see if they're okay. This person, I know they're going through a rough patch and they don't feel very confident about themselves. Maybe they broke up with a boyfriend. I'm going to text them more often and tell them how beautiful they are, how fabulous they are. Or maybe I should convince them to come out. We'll go get dressed up, we'll go get cocktails, and that'll boost their confidence, okay? And again, it's not about fixing the other person, it's about bringing them exactly what they need at the right time. That's what friendship is about. And I really get a great feeling about being a good friend. It's one of my joys in life, and I'm not always perfect at it, I'll admit that. But I love working on it. I always love working on making myself a better person. And I think when we do this on a small scale, it reaches to a bigger scale. Because people have said to me, I've learned how to be a better friend from being around you as a friend. And although you might think that it's very constructed friendship, the fact that I've even gotten to that place of trying to be a better friend already means I'm being a better friend, because there's a lot of people that don't go to that much effort. And yes, sometimes you might think that trying to be a better friend makes you look needy or whatever. I don't tend to care, because, you know, my friends don't really mind. They actually really enjoy it and they really respond well. And if anybody doesn't, those people don't tend to stay around very long. You know, I think I'm at a stage in my life where I know making an effort with friends gets positive feedback, and I've weeded out the people who haven't been grateful. And the funny thing is that you get great feedback, but you also get something in return. I'm not sitting here expecting, waiting for the good karma to hit me. It's enough good karma for me to actually feel that situation when people respond positively to, you know, me upping the ante in my friendship levels. So one of my friends I'm going to visit this week, and I'm going to try and teach her how to cook vegetarian food for the first time. She said she really wanted to learn that, so I'm going to bring over some veg. I'm going to show her how to do that. That sounds like something fun we can do together. Finding new fun things to do together if things are a bit stagnant in friendship as well. Not that they are without friendship, but if they are stagnant with a friendship, maybe bring something new to the table. Maybe bring over a board game. Suggest something new to do, you know? So friends are really quite easy, you know, whereas the thing that's real hard, because these are people you've known your entire life, that you have to work on, and sometimes when you mention the word family, it's like, you just see people go, oh, here, that's a mountain to climb on its own. But really, family isn't that hard. Focus on one person. Start with one person, okay? Like, today, I was going to go out, and I really wanted to do a few things around the shopping centre, and I had a few things to do myself, and I wanted to get out of the house because I felt a little bit like I'm stuck in the house, and, you know. But I decided not to go out because my mum, you know, wasn't feeling great this morning, so I decided to stay around just to see, you know, make her know that there's somebody here if she needs her, you know. And I think those kind of little things, despite the fact that, like, she's down having a nap now, despite the fact that I'm actually not doing much, it's the effort, it's the consciousness of saying, here, I'm here if you need me. I'm here to support you emotionally, physically, if you want me to bring you a cup of tea, anything like that. And, like, just small things, like something that I was brought up with in my family. If you're making a cup of tea, you always offer other people. If you're making a sandwich, you're making dinner, anything like that, you always offer someone else first. And people are always surprised. My friends outside of my family system who are like, you're always so nice offering me cups of tea. I even find myself in other people's houses and I offer them cups of tea and I get up and make the tea for them because it's like been bred into me, politeness and being nice to other people about that. And my family have really been good about that. My family brought me up vegetarian. My dad ran a green energy company for years, so they've already got that essential goodness about them, trying to do better for humanity and stuff like that. So my family are very much great at reaching out to each other when, you know, when things aren't good, and they've been really, really there for me when I was in the hospital. So, you know, there's a few things that I'm thinking of as I'm talking about this. This is the funny thing is that brainstorming this and sitting there and going, okay, I'm going to choose family today. How many things are going to come up when you actually start the conversation with yourself? What do I do to get this part of my life better? Okay, I'm not spending enough time with my sister. So we went and had sushi this week, and we had cocktails, and it was lovely. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm not spending enough time with my little brother because he's always like with his girlfriend, and I always end up like the third wheel. So I was like, how do I spend more time with them without making it awkward? So I said to myself, like, do you know what, screw that. I'm actually going to, like, you know, invite them out, and, you know, maybe we'll go for dinner, or maybe we'll go to the cinema or something like that. And then my older brother, you know, he's had his third baby there in the last few weeks, and she's just a little angel, an absolute little angel, but they are exhausted. So again, offering like a little bit of help, going over, you know, maybe I'll make some food to bring over or something, or help them out with some babysitting or something like that. And just know that, like, family is about being a support system, you know? It's not always about being in each other's faces. And our family's always been great like that, where they're kind of chilled out, but also there when you need them exactly. So maybe I should just send a text message to my brother and say, hey, I'm here if you need me, whatever you need, you know? So again, family are pretty obvious a lot of the time, because most of the time you know what's going on in everybody else's life. You know, friends can be a little bit trickier. They might not be telling you. You can always tell, though. if you've known people long enough, something's not right. But again, getting these conversations started is the start of planning your mindfulness path. So the other part is health. So health is really important because sometimes we don't focus on it, because you might actually be focusing on your weight loss, for instance, but you might not be focusing on your health. So I've seen people go down this path where they believe that focusing on eating less, exercising more, but not actually nourishing their body with proper vitamins. Like, I'm a nutritional therapist, and when I did the nutritional therapy course, a lot of the stuff that I was looking at to do with diets and stuff like that was not essentially feeding the body's ability to work. And vitamins fuel our ability to think, our ability to process, our ability to cleanse. And if you're eating something like, stagnant protein shakes with no bioavailable vitamin content, you're not exactly making yourself healthy. You know what I mean? And being healthy doesn't necessarily have to be eating iceberg lettuce. Like, iceberg lettuce loses most of its vitamin content within the first 24 hours of being picked. So your health is depending on how much you actually know about your health, about nutritional therapy, about anything else. I think it's everybody's responsibility to take into their own hands their health. I've been teaching essential oils for a few years now, and the first thing that I teach in essential oils is taking responsibility and care of your own health, your pain, your stomach, anything like that, basically. And working on that by educating yourself is probably the biggest thing to do with health, I think, that you can work on for yourself at the moment. Like, say for instance, today my lower back was hurting me. I did a little bit of yoga, and I put a bit of my CBD balm on my lower back as well. And I said to myself, what does my body need today? Also, I ate some healthy stuff. I drank some herbal tea to kind of remove any toxins, and I made a nice breakfast that it was also tasty as well, because if you're going to encourage yourself to be healthy, it has to be tasty as well, because you're not going to encourage yourself to do something that you're not going to want to do. You have to make it enticable for you to want to do it. And then spiritual life, obviously your spiritual life. So if you spend 5 minutes brushing your teeth in the morning, you have time to spend 5 minutes meditating. The majority of people I say to who start off with meditation classes, they say to themselves, I've decided to treat myself to a meditation class. I've managed to get the husband to mind the kids for me. I've managed to put the money to €10 towards a meditation class. Now, if I asked them how much they had spent on food they put into their body in the month, that wasn't necessarily, it could be over €10, it could be over €100, about how much money they spent on alcohol, chocolate, doing things specifically that don't contribute to their spirituality or their health or their happiness, maybe spending money on other people, anything like that. And when I actually try to get them to sit down for 10 minutes to do 10 minutes meditation on their own, they're like, this isn't important. This isn't on the priority list. It should be. It should be, because at the end of the day, the way that you focus your life is the way that you are essentially happy spiritually. If you are happy spiritually, everything in your life tends to go a lot easier. It doesn't just go easier, the bad things in your life go over easier. Somebody actually said to me last week, you're actually taking this, job situation very mindfully, I've noticed. And I said to them, I've been a meditation teacher for 10 years. I hope so. But I think the most important aspect to understand about when something goes bad in your life is that your ability to deal with it, whether you've been working on your spiritual side or not, it's up to you how you respond. And if you have the experience and you already have that playing field where you know how to deal with your own emotions, you know how to educate yourself onto mindfulness techniques, you're going to go swimmingly. You're going to be able to deal with things. You're going to have to, you're going to meditate, you're going to do your yoga, you're going to have your routine already set up. When these bad things happen, you try to jump into it and you haven't actually done the work beforehand, you're not going to go very well. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be trying to meditate when you're in a bad mood. It's not going to work. And also, you're not going to know your own triggers. You're not going to understand from a higher perspective why this is happening to you. And you're not going to give a shit why. Because you're going to be in that lower vibration. You're not going to have worked on yourself enough, knowing yourself enough. I got to a stage where I knew that job wasn't right for me. I'd already been looking for other work. I'd already been looking for other alternatives to do with my life. I'd already been getting to a stage where within a week or two, I knew I was going to be leaving soon. I even actually asked my boss several times, is this the end of my contract? Can you let me know so I can look somewhere else? I was being open-minded about the situation because I know at the end of the day, you have to be a bending, twig in the wind. Because if you bend, you blow alongside the wind or where your path is leading you, and if you don't, then you break, and that's much harder. You have to have an open mind and go with the flow which way your path is bringing you. So the work that I did on my spiritual life helped with the blow much more, but also having arguments is a great example of how spiritual life is important. Okay, so I sit here and I can have an argument with a best friend, with a lover, with anything else, okay? And if I haven't studied spirituality, if I haven't studied mindfulness, if I haven't raised my own energy to a level of compassion, I will cut that person off. I will say nasty things. I walk away. And some people say that's a healthy way to do things. You're supposed to let out your anger. You're supposed to let out this, that, whatever. But I've kept a lot of friends around for many years. And people have asked me, how have you kept the same group of friends? I never let them meet each other, first of all. And some of them have never met each other, which is weird, but I tend to keep it up. I don't like group mentalities. I think your relationship is between one person. Group mentalities are much harder to deal with. You're one person, one soul dating one soul, and that's all that matters. But secondly, the reason why is because I'm mindfully enough to know if this person's going through a bad patch, reach out to them, give them some space, and if I know I've been out of line, I apologize, or if I have, crossed boundaries, anything like that. You tend to be more compassionate when you've already worked on yourself compassionately, and the way you look at yourself is how you look at everybody else. Being a spiritual person and working on your spiritual side makes your life better. Because you can deal with things better, you can deal with other people better, your communication skills are better because you're learning to communicate with yourself. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I've got time for today, guys, sadly, because I'm already at nearly half an hour. But so this is basically the best way to start off your conversation with yourself. What am I going to do with myself next? Love life, joy, work life, friends, family, health, or spiritual life. Which part of it? Write down your little list, right? And I'll have a comment below underneath of all the things on the list. Comment below if you have anything else that you would want to add to yours, and put a percentage beside it of how you think you're doing. So at the moment I say to myself, my family life is about 60%. How do I get that more balanced? Or actually, I think it's fine. Joy, definitely need to work on. I've been wanting to join a salsa class for a while, so I think I'm going to do that. Health, I am working on that very strongly actually at the moment, so I think I'm about 80% on my health at the moment. My spiritual life is about 50%, but then again I think I'm being under ambitious. I think I'm doing great in my spiritual life at the moment. Work life, need work on. Love life, definitely need work on. So again, being conscious of what you need to work on, great way, but this conversation with yourself will get you going. So let me know if you've done your list. Take a picture, put up a video, whatever you can, and we'll see if we can work on this together. Namaste, and goodbye from Mother Maya.